Good evening, YouTube. This is Johnny with the Gallery Group, just browsing the internet, just looking at the state that Roll20 is in. In case you're wondering what's playing in the background, it's this. It's not too jazzy, too. Yeah, it's not my music. I just have this in on the background for this. I'm being cheap. And it's AI generated music, so it's not really the guy who generated this is music either, if you want to get technical with it. I was just on, Roll20, something I like doing, just browsing around, looking at games, trying to find out what's going on with games out on Roll20, seeing just how well certain fandoms are doing. It's not about World of Darkness, that's what I'm going to get into, but yeah, it is a little disappointing that this is all we've got with Vampire and Werewolf, isn't it? Where, yeah, I really wish there were more games out there. This does look interesting. If I had the time, I would do this, but, Monday at 9 o'clock, this is not a good time for me anymore. But besides that, D&D is the game that's always going to be the most dominant and most prominent on the site. Where, look, I look up D&D 5e to show you just what I was looking up. For just to give an example, free-to-play, mature content's on, weekly, I did not set any other parameters than this. And looking down here, how many pages do I have for results? It says 5, but when I click on the 5, this happens. So, great, thank you, Roll20. But going back into it, there was one game that I saw when I was just looking around where, well, first of all, this is just a really good premise right here where you see the Curse of Strahd banner next to a profile picture looks like this. So that's always great to see that. But more specifically, I was just wanting to go look at one ad in particular because Roll20 has been in a particular state for, I want to say, about 2 years now. And I was able to look past it before. I can't really do that anymore. So, this is everywhere now. Where I looked at this title, this is interesting. If anyone knows me, I really, really do not like Curse of Strahd. I think that game is broken by design. I think that this game is destined to fail. And any group that did complete Curse of Strahd, you didn't actually complete Curse of Strahd, you completed some sort of abridged version of it. But I looked at this, I checked out this profile. I'm not going to go reveal the URL of this person so nobody accuses me of doxing or DMing or sending hounds after anybody, but I saw this where, you know what, this should be pretty promising. 3,800 hours on Roll20, you've been a member since 2015. That should be promising, but I clicked on the user page and I looked at this in particular, where this... to let you know what's bothering me, it's, this part. Not the Raging Storm part, the parentheses part. That's what's bothering me. And there's nothing particularly wrong with this, but putting it in your title, on Roll20, I noticed that when this is in a title, it's less about finding a group of players to play a game, and more like creating an echo chamber. If you've used this site and you're like me, you know what I'm talking about when I come to this. And taking a look at this, Thursday, there was no way I'm going to be able to join this game regardless because we record our live play on Tuesdays. Thursdays. But going into it, so this is what the page looks like after you click on it. Where you go into it and 6 players. So whenever you see these numbers for anyone who doesn't know about the site, that 6 right there, it's the players at the game, including the Dungeon Master in that. So this is going to be a group of about 5 people where you can run D&D games with 5 people. Five's pushing it. Your players need to come to a consensus as to who's going to do what in the party roles. So, because if 2 players are doing the same thing, somebody's going to get left out. 4 is the happy medium you want to go with this. But 5, I could do 5, but not every game you run is 5. And look at this, and this looks like a standard fare Curse of Strahd game, doesn't it? Let me just zoom further in on this, where, Castle Ravenloft. This looks like a pretty decent synopsis of what Curse of Strahd is. This looks like the back of the books, or the back of the book for the module. And now it starts scrolling down, and we're looking to add 2 more players to start this campaign. So you're already joining a group that's established, where, in my experience joining Roll20 games, whenever you're joining a group that's already established, you're always fighting upstream. Because with these guys, you don't know how long they've been playing for. You don't know what kind of group you're going into. You can't really read the room. The room is going to read you. And yeah, I think you can read the room and stuff like this, but you don't know how these people are going to react. I don't mean these people. I'm not trying to form an us or them kind of situation saying that. But going into a group that's already established, you'll say, oh, what about da-da-da? And then they'll look at you and say, well, what do you mean about that? I mean, I was in a Roll20 game where I was trying to talk about a current event going on, and I got banned for opening my mouth about it. And where I wasn't even taking a stance on it, I just brought the topic up, and I got kicked from the game for doing that. And yeah, whether or not that says something about me or the group you're going into, your mileage may vary. But looking at this, I personally hate this term when I look at this, where I don't like being referred to as this, in all honesty. Like, I don't like where, you gotta include everybody, but I'm being roped in with groups that I don't really want to be a part of. And, do I really need to put a sticker on myself? Like, do we need whole months dedicated to, singling myself out as a target? I don't like talking about this, but I am, but, I just want to get my point across that this bothers me. And, so you're looking for a group that is specifically, this group friendly, along with being POC friendly, where, why does that necessarily matter? I mean, does it really matter? Because with Roll20 games, unless we do we have our cameras on for this? No, it's voice only. So why does that matter? I mean, if I apply and I tell you that I'm white, does that mean I'm going to get hit, or are you going to kick someone who isn't white from that game because of that? Where whenever you see something like that, that automatically puts me on edge as to, why does that matter? And, well, of course, that's going to decide how you're going to treat me when it comes to a game. And women friendly. Okay, that bothers me. Where most of the users on Roll20 are men. And I'm not going to accuse the person of running this game of anything, but automatically I'm on edge about this. Where I'm looking at this, no racism, no sexism, ableism, transphobia, homophobia, or any... Well, I think this is just this, but using less characters. And that's it, really. So, I mean, once... I feel... You're playing on the site with adults, dude. I mean, we know how to act around each other. We don't need to say this. So, I'm pretty sure everyone in here knows what the term virtue signaling is supposed to be. Where this is what it comes across to me as. Where it just feels like I'm putting myself on a pedestal. I'm all-inclusive by singling out groups. Where, it's an oxymoron in and of itself. Discrimination in any form will not be tolerated. Where I think this should be a given. So what's my consequence if I do this? Nothing listed. Okay. Sessions will run for 4 hours. That's a lot of time to be playing D&D. That's a lot of time where you want to have a game going for 3 hours, because that's the 3-hour mark is when your players will start to run out of gas. Where you go into this enthusiastic, but dog, that's a lot of time to be sitting at a computer for one time. And even if you do a break, even if you do a 20-minute, 30-minute break, okay, who's going to say that every player's going to come back right after that? It's because Roll20, this site's known for players ghosting each other. Level 3... I love this. I love it where... Dog, nobody that plays Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition wants to be level 1. Nobody wants to be level 2. Everybody wants to be level 3. Where Dungeons & Dragons doesn't have 20 levels in it. It's got 18 levels in it. Nobody wants to be level 1 or level 2. Nobody enjoys playing that. So every campaign I see starts off at level 3, and if it starts off at level 1, it's automatically got players in the DMs asking for stuff from the GM. This is consistent with this website. Discord for voice and Roll20 as a virtual tab. I would take that as a given how prevalent Discord is in tabletops as a whole. Alright, we're using the new 2024 rules. Ooh, and with that, you would normally lose me, and I would just go right away from the application, where I'm just an average Joe on the internet. My opinion doesn't matter that much. The 2024 rules, I'm the dungeon master of my group. I would never accept running that. I would never run the 2024 rules. It's it is so heavily one-sided in the favor of the players. It puts too much power in the hands of the players. And me as a dungeon master, like, what? I just can't make hard combat scenarios anymore without being unfair by design. I can't come up with challenges. And it's a game that's wanting to tell everybody it's a war game, it's combat focused, even though we're getting more and more sessions and games out there where you have entire sessions where there is no combat. That's what I'm noticing with a lot of these. Running the game, we'll be running modules written. I'll be incorporating some homebrew content. Now, this isn't necessarily... He's not doing anything bad with this, but what I would really appreciate with posts that say they're adding homebrew content is if you could add the files of what the homebrew content is. Is it down here? No. I did not click this. I didn't sift through the questions, because the questions on these sites, where you have a questions tab, it's usually just stuff that's really banal, really boring. Just, you ask a simple question, you get a simple answer for something that I could already piece together for myself, given what I'm reading from this. This will be a heroic fantasy adventure in a dark fantasy and a gothic horror setting where Curse of Strahd is so prevalent of a game. Once again, like, what I mean by banal, like, this is... I can tell what this game's going to be because of that picture of Strahd von Zarevich. There's no shame in running away or looking for another path, because the encounters in this dungeon are terrible. I don't know, maybe I'll do a whole video talking about how terrible of a module Curse of Strahd is. We know that's going to... That'll just be another drop in a bucket. Just... There's so many videos like that on YouTube already. Okay, player expectations. I am a straight-up borrowing Curse of Strahd community creator Dragnacarda, who I do not know who this is. I stopped watching D&D YouTube a long time ago. If that's a creator, I don't know. If that's somebody that's on Draft RPG or DM's Guild, I don't know. So, tone, where... Am I talking to somebody who's on Xanax? We've already gone over this. We've already talked about this. Safety, as previously mentioned, Curse of Strahd is a gothic horror-themed game that explores dark and unsettling themes. So how many times have you said this sentence already, man? I mean, do we need a full wall of text to go over what you could say in 2 paragraphs? Where, what if you really want to, you could keep this. You could keep, say, this, but really add to what you just posted, and then this, and then that's it. That's all you need to have in this. And then, same thing is safety here too, where, dog, it's like, cyberbullying isn't real, harassment online isn't real. If it bothers you so much, just turn the computer off, just unplug from the website, just close your tab. If I feel unsafe or something, I'll just stop looking at it. I'll just stop being part of that game. So why do I need a whole safety tag up here? I mean, is this you trying to overbranch me? We're saying that you're not going to put me on edge with this game. You're not going to do anything like that. Well, I hate to break it to you, man, but I feel pretty singled out already. So, you know, I don't trust this. This just looks really insincere to me. Okay, player applications, if it's all good for you, I mean... I guess we're going to go into the player applications, where currently we have a Paladin, Cleric, and Monk. So, the most broken class in 5e that could really be any role and will step on somebody's toes at some point in the game. I do not allow Clerics in my games because of that reason. Paladins, so there's your frontline AC hit point sponge. And amongst there's your physical DPS, so... The only other thing we can really have in this is area control. A rogue could work, a ranger could work, or a blaster caster, or somebody who really understands and uses utility, or puzzle solving spells. See, 6 years ago I was a player in Curse of Strahd campaign. While wonderful, fell apart halfway through. I wonder why. Maybe it's because Curse of Strahd in and of itself is a cursed module that never gets completed. Where... I don't know what it is about Curse of Strahd, but this just attracts the worst people in Roll20. And I gotta open another tab. Now, I was just going to leave this alone. I was just going to leave this completely alone. I'm not going to go and reveal the profiles of these guys. We're sure, like, the pictures are out there, but you can't just DM somebody on Roll20. You need the profile link to DM somebody. You need to have their URL because a lot of people can have the same username and the same, well, similar profile picture. So thankfully, Roll20 is pretty secure when it comes to that. And I'm not going to reveal any sort of URLs or anything. I don't want to do that. I'm a perfect stranger. I don't want to do that. You don't deserve that. But, and same thing too with the applications, where it's not going to reveal anybody's specific personal information unless they list that in the application. But, you know what, yeah, you say victim blaming is a bad thing, but if you're getting that personal in a Roll20 application, you really only have yourself to blame for that. I was just going to leave this alone. I wasn't going to talk about this until I looked through the player applications, where you can tell that I've already clicked on this because the word new is next to this. I've already looked through this a little bit, so let's just go ahead and get into it. So, once again, why does this matter? Where does it matter who I am? I mean, I'm coming down and I'm saying that to play a game. You don't really need to know this. And with the age, I mean, of course, you don't want to play with kids. I mean, that's you're setting yourself up for failure if you don't do some sort of like 18+ block on these on this site. And experience with tabletop RPGs, experience with Curse of Strahd. For everyone viewing this at home, keep this in mind. Just keep an eye on that. What do you like about TTRPGs? What are one of your favorite moments? Now, this opened itself up to a lot of stuff that I think was just a little bit embarrassing. If you don't have a great idea for a playstyle, Jenny D, who I don't watch Theros' URL, has a video talking about this. What I'm expecting from this campaign. I hate this question. I'm not blaming you for putting it in here, but I feel like with D&D and Roll20 especially, that a lot of players that will join your game or come across as really, really entitled, where they want the DM to service them instead of joining the DM, because this is a cooperative game. You want to work with your dungeon master. You don't want to be adversarial with them. You're not just collaborating with players, you're collaborating with the dungeon master too to create an experience that's enjoyable for everyone. So when you put that in there, and you will have players that will expect you to be a scullion maid, where they'll just list off what they want from you. Not just in a Roll20 ad, but if they get accepted to a game, they'll get in your DMs and will not leave you alone about what they want. I've been asked by some people to redo entire sessions. If you want to infuriate me, tell me that. If you want me to break things off with you forever, tell me that. A bit about you as a person, where, yes, I do, this should be on every application on here, right? I should at least get an idea of who I'm playing with. Nothing like clinical or clerical like that, but just ideas to who I'm talking to. And then the character concept, where does it need to be super detailed, right? Does it need to be super detailed? Well, we're going to get into that. Alright, so we start off fine. We got this person here, Zoe, 19, your college age, I'm supposing. Kind of hard to pick, where, yeah, this is a pretty okay application, if I do say so myself, where if I was looking at this, everything's fine, where, alright, thank you for telling me that. I didn't ask, but thank you. Where it's not any sort of discrimination I have, but it just bothers me because, you know, what you identify as, it's not going to change the way I perceive you as a person. Where, was there a time I was really angry about that? Was there a time I was really hateful about that? Yeah, there was, but that's not me anymore. And I look at a time with remorse. I don't see that as a happy time. I was a really angry person back in the day. And now I'm just at peace with myself and with peace with other people, and just I don't really need to know this because it's not going to change the way I look at you. But there's going to be other stuff that comes in here where, like, can you like change this? Can you not change this? You know, that's a whole can of worms I'm not really going to get into. But there's going to be stuff in here that I am going to say, yes, I will get judgy about. I will just, it's going to rub me the wrong way and go find out why. So we got over here, Neonouns, 36 years old, Cthulhu profile picture. The PCs exploring town were attacked by giant spiders. Since 1, since 2, Sentence 3, sentence 4, sentence 5. Okay, so this is a decent story. That's okay. This is an okay response. Just going into that. Player style, storyteller, problem solver. We're expecting to have fun, support more players, to have fun, back. Good answer, I guess. Good answer. You're not asking for demands. I'm a parent. A little puzzled. DM around a lot. I enjoy amazing cinema. I play video games. Like Stardew, No Man's Sky, and Baldur's Gate 3. G Fluid, vocational rehabilitation, which is helping me get my business back off the ground. So there's a lot to unpack with that sentence. If you were to DM me about that, I'm pretty sure that would be a really interesting story to hear. It's a very strange sentence to put into a Roll20 ad. And then, okay, so you're playing a ranger or a bard. Okay, both would be good for this kind of party we got going on here. And Drake Warden, that's a brief, like, simple backstory where both character ideas, where, okay, cool, that's all we really need to know. A little strange, but all right, we'll keep going. Where Stavali Catskin is next, where Michael, that's his nouns. He's been playing for 5 years, good, played in 2 sessions, and a group fell apart. Like, keep an eye out for how many times you're going to see this. I've been absorbed into adventure and character. One of my favorite moments as the adventure was approaching near the end. Okay, that's a good memory. Played with a cool style. Now this bothers me. Why didn't you just delete that from the application? I mean, you didn't really need to include that, now did you? Pay attention, honestly, dude. Spooky gothic vibes, strong party connections, just general fun. That's right. Living in Jersey. He's got looks like a decent job. Collect dice. Okay, cool. And then you actually have a pretty good listed thing where I was gonna say, do not make that a fighter. Do not. Okay, it's not. Okay. Good. So get this idea. Just delete this. If this guy does get deleted, joins this game, just delete that. Where it's good. Where brief character backstory. I think this is way too much for a brief backstory, but all right. Where the backstory itself ties in with the adventure. You know about Curse of Strahd. Now, what kind of bothers me is just how many pictures were included. One's enough. We don't need this many in a Lossy Dog. Though you're gonna find out this is pretty conservative compared to other posts. Where this is all right. This character applications, this is all right. I'll give this an approval. I'll send an invite out. Going further in, panic too much. Okay, so anime profile pictures are always a really good thing to see on the site. You don't ever want to see this. You don't ever want to see that. 15 years as a player. So what, you've been playing since 2010 with 4th edition then? One of my favorite experiences where, yeah, that's fine. Where once again, we're just copy pasting this whole thing. Bro, just delete that. And then the character comes in here where it's, once again, it's an anime character where, and I'm pretty sure this is AI generated too, given the chest right here. I look at that woman's chest. I'd say it a lot in the comments, but I'm not hopeful about it. Where just, just the anonymous trolls on Twitter, Blue Sky, or Reddit have this kind of look to it. Space Zombie, alright. So I'll be posting in replies as myself and as... Okay, Jesus Christ, dog, what are we doing? The URL is not seen. Okay, it's not seen in the OBS. Okay. So what are we doing here, dude? I have no idea what's going on with this dude. So we have a short anecdotal response here. And then there's this. And this is the reason why I'm making this video. Where, for anyone at home that wants to read this, just pause this, read this over, look this over, and you have attached screenshots of the story where you clung onto these epic rolls so hard that you needed to save them for screenshots. And a character actor. Yeah, you sure are a character in this. Considering what Curse of Strahd do. Once again, I have no issue, but when you describe yourself like this, now I have an issue. Where, dog, the whole point of Pinocchio is that nobody wants to be Pinocchio. You can't really connect with somebody if you're so unique that nobody can really connect with you. So I'm looking at this, and from what you've typed out, and from what you're describing about yourself, and from... So I need an explanation as to what you mean by this. I need a serious explanation. And it usually takes me being in a hospital to miss a game, though. Okay, well, how often is that? I got no idea what you're doing here, dude. I mean, are you role-playing? Are you trolling? Is this a dissociative identity? Like, what the fuck is this, dude? I have never seen this. I have never seen anything like this on Roll20 before. What the fuck is this? Who's Cat supposed to be, dog? This dog, I really hope this is just a really elaborate schizo post, but given that the other account exists, unless you're roping in some account that you just found online into this, where, thanks for your attention. Yeah, you got my attention. You certainly got my attention, alright. Bruh. Okay. My name Jeff. He's 49. Been playing this for 8 years. 0. Had like good fun. So he's got no experience with Curse of Strahd. Tried to get into several times, but never chosen. And given that he's answered with this, like, I have no issue with it, but I got a hunch, you know, that a lot of people on Roll20 that run Curse of Strahd would have an issue with it. So this looks pretty normal, where you deleted that whole Ginny D or whatever his name was link. So it's an Asmar barbarian, a human wizard, human barbarian, few ideas. Where, okay, this looks fine. Where, you know, you could just be like, of course it's strange on the internet, so you gotta take stuff like that said with a grain of salt. But really, I see no real issue with this. NC Fishboy, do you hunt too? Yeah, wildlife photography. So this guy comes across as pretty chill. You know, I wouldn't mind playing a game with this. But this dude. Alright, Joy. So is this made by Picrew or no? Okay, I don't see what that shirt says. I can't tell if the image is AI generated or not. So, been 100 games from one-shots to years-long campaigns. Been a few. Most of my friends cover outlets where... Yeah, about responses like this, I don't accept players that come to me with this, because you're trying a little bit too hard to stand out, dude. Where, I don't really need it broken down and qualified like that. Where, along with this too, it sounds like you're phoning in the character idea, in all honesty. Where, yeah, it's a simple idea, but, you know, can we get a little bit more to this? You know, Skip. Alright, Violet, according to Rogue. Okay, alright, so I've never played in a TTRPG or D&D game before. Well, I would automatically reject you because this is not the game that you should start with. You should not start with Curse of Strahd. Okay, next up. Brandon D. D and him, 25, 8 years. I've run it with the DM, but I didn't get past the Death House. I've run it once as a DM, but didn't get past the Death House since one of my players refused to go in and was killed by the fog. And the campaign just fell apart because of that? Where... Well, your first mistake was that you ran the Death House. That was your first mistake. And no, I think it's pretty justified that why the player didn't want to go in. But the entire game fell apart because of that, so you just couldn't, I don't know, kick the guy from the group and then just keep running the game as per usual. Was the guy bringing all of his friends and the group fell apart because of that? I mean, this requires a little bit more explanation, dude. Like, how did you handle this? Would be something I would like to know if it was me asking you this. Okay, I love creating new characters, soloing them up. Soloing a minor BBG as an arcade trickster rogue, where once again that bothers me. Where your experiences should involve you as a team doing something, not going off and doing something by yourself. I'm getting a lot of "I'ms" in this. I'm getting a lot of I'm with a character that is power gamey as shit already. And I'm sorry, dude, you would immediately be rejected. Okay, will not take you. Okay, so for the profile picture alone, from my just life experience, you see this ring, just get away from whoever you're talking to. Okay, I don't think you're taking the application that seriously either. I got no idea what you're talking about. I got no idea what you are talking about. Okay, Kaiser, can you wash my palette, please? Preferred day. Okay. So, what are we doing here, dude? Get these to match. Alright, okay, 26. Okay, cool. You played these games for... I've DM'd the module for close to a year, all the way to the end. Okay, you must have been some pretty good friends with your group, or you just might have not invited any strangers into that. So, congratulations, you managed to beat Curse of Strahd. You managed to do so in a year, though. So, probably a lot of combat and a lot of bullshit was skipped. You probably knew what you were doing. Where I would probably not invite him into the game if he's completed this game before, because I feel like he's going to say a lot of stuff that will try to drive him into a certain path. Oh, that's right. It's this guy. So we're going to have another character who looks a lot like this further down the road, but from this character art in of itself, where, babe, can we go to the store and get guts? I'm sorry, babe, we got guts at home. The guts at home. Let's just really zoom in on this. I can tell who you're trying to eliminate, dude. It's not going to work. Like anybody on Roll20 that's trying to do guts as a character is going to get it wrong, and it's just going to come off the cross as really emo, really edgy. Just skipping you, dude. Dusty Bear. M29. Run at least 4 or 5 campaigns. Only one in 2024. One of the few campaigns modules I haven't really played. I love creating Persona. Let's see, Dustin. Okay, accident. One experience was a DM. I accidentally set the power level too low for a boss fight, and before he realized that I had nat 20 and killed it. Took the sales out of the story. That's not really funny, dude. I mean, I'm pretty sure your Dungeon Master was pretty disappointed by that. To be more passive and okay, move on. Calder, 28. Let's see, took roughly 12 years playing TTRPGs. Took a big break from 5e and started running a new D&D 24 game. So some lore videos. Playing TTRPG, thirsty sword lesbians with the. So I would not call the system a blast. I mean, I've never been dicks out for this system. I've never gotten turned up for this, in all honesty. This stop. Yes, it did. Alright, that's the first time I've ever seen that, by the way. Just YouTube just freezes in the middle of the. Let's just go ahead and bring you back. Whatever. Sorry for the brief. Oh, what the flip? The entire tab froze. Okay, forget it. We're not looking at this. We're just going to have to mute that for a minute. Okay. I love ads on YouTube, don't you? Laid back, go to flow. I'm a CA, SA volunteer, and social worker, game nerd, and traveler. Social worker with. I would not feel comfortable if my social worker played this game. To be real with you, dude. Oh my god, is that still going on, Skip? Let's get this back in action. Alright. So, yeah, I'm sorry, dude, I don't want to be a game with you. Okay. Jared, okay, 30 years old. I've been playing this the 3.5 era. I got into a few campaigns to 5th. Okay, was a few years back, but never made it out. Dog, that's bad. That's honestly really bad, dude. And just straight honesty with you, but yeah, I'm going to need an explanation as to why that happened. As a player with characters in it, try to cop out. It's very much of a concept, but I love every play style. I will say I very much just like optimizing and agonizing over every action my character takes. Thank you for saying that, dude. Where nothing kills me more than rules lawyering, where you own 3 cats, you pretend you know what you're doing at work, you're a nerdy dude, I'm pretty sure, because you're playing D&D. Looking at this, he doesn't really say... He does... You know, I'm glad you didn't say that you're married, because that's none of my business. You know, I shouldn't really know this. Playing out full orc, good, ranger. Was born in the Kingdom of 10 Towns, where... Alright, this is alright. It's not Jermaine Schlock. You took a character and Hero Forge and made that. You actually have a background, I can tell you're paying for it. Taking it seriously. Yeah, I'd say Jared's good. I would like Jared would be a good person to bring into a game. Okay, Adoniz 29. Currently running Curse of Strahd as my first attempt at a DM for a group, and would actually prefer to be in the story. I haven't made it very far, and I have no problem with not metagaming. When you say that you're not going to metagame, it automatically makes you suspect that you are going to metagame. And honestly, just don't say that when you run an application. The roleplay aspect, where... okay, do you actually like the combat aspect? Do you like the game itself? Because if somebody says they like roleplay... That makes me think that you don't really like D&D as a game, and you're more into this just for whatever you want to get out of it. You don't have any specific ideas. Okay, well, I can tell you're not going to take this game seriously. Reject it. I'm not going to take you. I'm writing this as if it's my game. Okay, thanks for the Discord, dude. See, Chrome. Well, hold on. Is this? I think I. Yeah. 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 Okay, Vicky D. Okay. Vicky, very clever handle. I haven't spoiled. Okay. Thanks for asking. More. Okay, good. You singled yourself out as a woman. Thank you for 43. I think I really. What are we doing here? I'm rolling dice since first edition. I think. Oh man. Do I recognize this account? Do I? No, I don't. But it really reminds me of someone I used to play with that. Was a terrible player. Okay, again, snap myself back into reality. Okay, I'm familiar with the old 2nd edition lore, and I've been started with the 5th edition. Okay, well, this is what I mean. Right? You're going in with too much expectations as to what the game is going to be, and you're going to start asking me for shit. I'm not going to pull you into the game. I'm sorry. Oh, my God. I'm going to talk your ear off, she says. Where, okay, thank you, rejected. I'm not going to go through the rest of this. And I gotta go back and look at this. There's something right with this. I don't think it's how to generate. That's a really uncomfortable way to hold a sword with the left hand. Okay, moving on. Okay, so Vaughn, I recognize you from somewhere. I've been on the site long enough to recognize some names. I remember your name. I don't remember what it was from, but I don't think it was a good experience. So yeah, this played a Goblin Rogue where I thought maybe reading this would have like jogged a memory of something, but this is a little bit too long for a favorite moment in a game. And I'm not going to invite a guy into the game that says I'm basic boy. Sorry, dude. It's not. It's nothing to do with this or this or this or this or this. It's just that sense killed it, and this massive ass fucking backstory killed it too. Good God, dude. And you're going to expect that I've read the whole thing and I'm going to follow it to the letter. Okay, I go into past that. Bladestone Disciple. I'm not calling you Disciple, I'm calling you Clay. Alright, going entering the pipeline. Try to run it once, couldn't even get session 1. Okay, yeah, you see this a lot, don't you? Find Ancient Black Dragon. Okay, cool. Tiny amount of fighter. Mix of actor and story. If there's a typo in an application, I'm not taking it. Seriously, man. Just proofread this before you send it. Alright, Phoenix. Alright, Bash. She, her. 20. Playing D&D for 6 years. Want some people to play with. A cleric kobold named Happy Yippee. 2 party barbarians and a bard were arrested by a dragon as... What is this story? Okay, somebody's wearing their influences on their sleeve. I did it too. I'm a little bit guilty of that as well. I'm going to get back to you. I'll get back to you. Don't call me. I'll call you. Necrotic. Okay, going into this. Just in case you're wondering why, the minute I see Tiefling, I'm automatically put off. Just anytime I see that. Don't invite Tiefling players into your game. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Okay, let's go into this. So once again, you listed this off where it's just trying a little bit too hard. I'm sorry, dude. And in-game bonds form with some NPCs and NPCs storm against all odds. Challenging states. Character death. Where this is what I mean by a shopping list. Where, sure, you're saying a lot with a little. Where if I don't meet your expectations with this, you're going to ghost me. Is what I'm taking from this. Just from how many years I've been on Roll20 running games and how many times I've encountered this before, where I've been on the site since, 2021? So it's 3 years. Not as long as some other people, but yeah, I'm not going to take that. And with the human necromancy wizard with a haunted one background, okay, so necromancy wizard is enough for me to automatically reject that. Absolutely not. Great picture. It's so dark I can't tell what I'm looking at. All right. Loiakoth. I go by blank. Okay, can we get our names to match our usernames, please? Okay, age 26. This game is actually my curse. I have played the Death House 3 times, and I had 2 campaigns that fizzled out as soon as we reached Vallaki, which is where it usually fizzles out because your storyteller has no idea where he's going from there, and the players are already sick to damn death of the game. So, yes, run far away from this module. Do not get into this. Why are you applying for Curse of Strahd if you already know your lesson behind this dude? Okay, and you copy this verbatim to finish. I need to finish this so bad. I need a break. Dog, if this is bothering you so badly, then just get ChatGPT or Bard AI to run this game for you. I've done this before. I've gotten games to run World of Darkness games for me, where if you really need to do this, if this is such a you thing you need to do, I'm going to need to tell you, dude, just go off and do this on your own, away from everyone else, if it bothers you that badly. Okay, all right, just moving on. Okay, all right, Lady Hella. Let's see, her. Let's see, played PF2. I think I'm looking into video. I may be an explorer. Cool. Writer of mythology, tad of the tidbits, human sorcerer. Okay, this leaves me a little bit wanting, but I don't see anything wrong with this. So, alright, I'll put you in a pin. Okay, cool profile picture. Actually, get down with file space. Alright, Mooncake, him. Been playing for 6 years. I was hooked immediately. You've also run. Let's see. Thank you for running other games too. Morkborg. Yeah, I might need to reach out to you some other time and just send you a server link. Off crap outlets. This game is scaring me. Our party was an old decrepit castle. Okay, this story. This is a little long. Just cut it down to about like. Just let me count your sentences here. All right. 1, 2, 3. So what was the period? 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's 5 sentences. It works as 5 sentences. But I would probably cut down the commas and just cut this down just a little bit more. I love J&D and her videos. Okay, I don't know who this is. Okay. Dark Gothic Terror. I love RTS. Okay, cool. Wood Elf Fighter Battlemaster Barbarian with the bow build. With a Wood Elf Scout and a High Forest. Served as liaison. Never Winters in here. Traveling Vistani, Caravan Gates, Shafel. Okay, I can get down with this. Okay, you would get an invite. Absolutely. Okay, so everything about this just already, just the profile picture, the age, the name. No, huge no. I'm not even gonna read this. No. Okay, Miska TDB. 40 years old. He's played other games. Mage the Awakening. You were so close, dude. Ascension was right around the corner. Tried to play it 3 times. 2 times it fell off. Third was because the DM was doing weird things. We fought aliens as well as the Alien Queen. And another part we fought Jason Fort. I think your Dungeon Master got bored with the module. I think that's why that happened. Going along with what we've got. Just don't do that. To have fun, to finally fit. Just get an ad run this game for you, dude. Just get an ad run for you. In all honesty, and also just don't do this. Come to me with an idea. Like, who do you want to be in your game? That's what I want to see whenever you come in and apply it to a TTRPG game. Who do you want to be in this game? We can always compromise to change the idea later. Just give me an idea that you're passionate about. Like, just shape this up a little bit and then try again, dude. James H. Jim 3-3. Little, always start but never. You know what? It actually genuinely alarms me just how common of a response this is. Where, like, Curse of Strahd is the most well-known module. I don't think well-known means most enjoyed or most good, and this should put anyone off of Curse of Strahd. Just seeing this, where, why is this such a common response? We're not even on the second page yet, dude. There's a second page to this. Okay, so this is really lacking of an application. Okay, I'll just skip. Okay. As in, the account got deleted while this was being made. No, you're just calling yourself that. Okay. So, Vampire the Masquerade 2nd Edition, basic stuff. You were in a Keymaker game, chill group, Tiefling. Okay, dude, I'll see you later. Cat G. Gotta wrap my head around You wrap my head around that profile picture. Um, okay, they're them. Your voice could sound like anything with the name Alex. The party wizard has disguised himself into a random elf, like my trickster cleric, secret admirer. This sounds like a you story, and I like arting and crafting and all sorts of mediums. Advocate for creepy crawlies of all kinds. Love me a tragic character trying their best to. This is not what I would list if I'm talking about tragic characters, dude. I mean, can we get some more media literacy here? In all seriousness, I'll get back to you later, dude. I'll get back to you real later. Okay. Moj. Let's see. Ray, she, her, 22. Did you make this on Picrew? I'm usually able to suss out. No, but okay. I feel like that might have been like off of somebody's DeviantArt page. I can reverse image search that, but I don't really want to. Never played it before. Immersive nature of it. Okay. I'm also not strict on role players, but I do. I'm not strict role player, but I do appreciate that when you want to do something, it might not always go your way because of a role, and I find those times lead to some pretty funny moments. Okay, good. That's a good answer. During camp, what are your expectations? I like a good balance of downtime and mid-combat. Whilst combat is thrilling, I really do enjoy build-ups. If you see this as a player, if you see this question, just say that you're down to have fun and just have a good time with people. Just don't say it, because this feels like you're saying a little with a lot. Where, and okay, I'm seeing it now. You're playing with a tiefling. All right, okay, all right. Todd, he, him, 49. Played some Palladium back in the 90s. Also some Vampire. Ooh, it's been mostly been D&D for me since 86 until late 2000s. I stopped for a long time until 2015. Picked up with the big D&D boom again. I've now been DMing an all-female group for the past 5 years. The only campaign I played fully in 2015 was about 4 years ago. I remember little, not a lot of memorable things happen. I can't put my finger on as to why that's bothering me. Divine a fire design, golem, good nature and camaraderie with the group. Okay, well, what character did you apply with? Dwarf wizard. Okay, something's putting me off about those two senses. So just I don't really know that. Okay, immediately no. No. I don't want to come off as blunt, but get off the site. In all honesty, just get off the site. Mac, okay. 30s, 20 years old, former soldier, long-time DM. Strong with 5e, both narratively and mechanically. Storytelling and crunchy tactical combat. Okay, well, I got away from D&D because of that. I don't really like D&D as much anymore because of the crunchiness of the combat. I ran it over a decade ago, but a group rushed through it and never got to sit into the atmosphere. You're telling me that Curse of Strahd is a game that's destined to fail no matter what it is. So, alright, you're going into this thinking it's going to be any different. Okay, as a GM, I want to be on scene where... okay, so experience as a TTRPG, I earned a player nat 20. Alright, okay, story. Expectations, a dark, sobering journey through Barovia. So what the game says on the tin: I live in Japan, former military, now creative, render, indie game dev, and I'm neurodivergent, which makes me people new and hard for me sometimes, but I care deeply once I'm in. I show up, I invest, I want to help tell a story that sticks. The app was written with the help from Nix and emotional support AI. My emotional support AI. Oh, all right. Clevicus Vile. Colin. I like joke names when I see it. Age 24. I've never played a live tabletop before, but I've played Baldur's Gate 3. All right, I'm out. You're going into this thing. It's going to be up the video game. Mariori. Juno, she, they, entering the pop line. I've been in the expressive roleplay. Campaign. I am someone who believes in combat role play. That should be okay. I'm excited to give Curse of Strahd another try because I'm absolutely weak for dark vampire stories. Okay, well, your experience with Curse of Strahd was what again? But at the beginning of the module multiple times and make sure. But they're also fairly. But they were also. This sounds like a cope, in all honesty. they're reminded, believe me, I'm not going to power game. So very flexible. Come at me with an idea that you're really fascinated about. Okay, skip. Inhuman resources. Okay, you are already anonymous. That's fine. Okay, 43. Been playing since D&D 3rd edition came out. Never played it, but I'm familiar with the Ravenloft setting. All right, I got to play an Eldritch Ox once. Just a spooky farm animal that exists to entirely support. Well, this is another you story, and Virginia, I'm an actor and problem solver. In fact, I was a theater kid. It sounds like you're drawing a little bit too attention to yourself, and you're not really going to roleplay with a group. In all honesty, this is the vibe I'm getting. Where I could be misjudging you, but nah, I'm not in it. Okay, yap. Okay, none fun interaction with them. Okay, this is your first time playing. I would not want to bring you into a Curse of Strahd game. Okay, Ella, she, her, they, 22, no experience. Seeing my teamwork. Let's see. Artist who loves creating characters in the world they live in. Creating everything gothic. Okay, did you have any experience with Curse of Strahd? Played once during the lockdown. I don't remember anything except it was fun. Okay, good enough question. I imagine her as an ex-cult member. What are you playing as again? A cleric. Okay, well, who's your god? And there's not really much to the character now, is there? Not with other characters that applied before, where I've had like 3 big yeses. If this was my game, I'll bring them in. Ella, I'm going to need a little bit more pizzazz from you, in all honesty. Hugh. Done. Heard a classic. It's a classic disaster, in all honesty. Run far away, Hugh. You don't know what you're getting into. You hate riddles. Puzzles can be fun, but riddles can suck on an egg. Well, I can tell you straight up, dude, you're going to hate Curse of Strahd. Just don't play this game. I would not accept you in this because I know it's in this shit. It's a lot of really obtuse game design that you would bounce right off of. You would not get into it. Now, how about Fire Garment Salesman, where you even drew out your own picture, where it's alright, you're not Picasso, but you don't really need to be. It's just, it's decent. It's decent what you got, where we got cigarette holder smoking orc artist and Desperado. I'm not really into this. I'm more into this Desperado type right here. This looks alright to me. Where, alright, and you even got the boots down. Alright, so yeah, I'd say this is fine, but Hugh, this is not a game you want to join in all honesty. This is not what you want. Okay, so I know pit crew avatar when I see one. Charo and dog. This is disrespectful, and if I need to explain why, I don't. Then stone up, man. Okay, Mordax. Okay, thank you for phoning in the application. Okay, Devil Jin Rizzy. Okay, Rizzy. I'm not going to call you that, but all right. Okay, we're having fun with ourselves at the very least. Played D&D on for about 4 years. Unfortunately, Strahd, the module was great. A game that was never finished. I have no clue what happens past maybe the first 6 minutes of play. Incredible. I'm in love with the storytelling, highs and lows. Engaging with. Okay, so engagement. That's a good word to see with an application. I love learning about other people's characters and their backstories. Good answer. The one session I played with some friends in which the character were in Desert City that was actively turned into a sinkhole. Each of the players were sort of split up in the town that occurred. We actually recorded this session, and I still find myself going back to listening and describing our characters using their abilities to escape debris. That's a good answer. That's a great answer. That's a really good answer. All right, and race max. Oh, all right. This is where you lose me, dude. We were doing so well up until that point. Where you were doing good up until that point. Like just add a character idea, and I would consider you. All right. Jacob C. Alright. Jacob, next name good with me. 35. Heard it's a thing. Have not yet had the chance to play it. You want to run away from this game, Jacob. You don't want to get involved in this. And this is just kind of meh looking to me. Just nothing about this is really interesting. Lucky got the Pikachu. Even worse. Okay. Are you the same person? Yes, you are. Okay, get off of that. Okay. Defiant Parents. Where have I seen you? Nah, we've looked at enough pages. I'm not going to do that. Sean. Storytelling, perceptual aspects. I got stuck as Forever DM Vortex not long after. So very rarely I've ever been a player. Okay, you might be trying a little bit too hard as a player in that case. Where the Forever DM, that's something that's hard to get out of. In honesty, if you want to get out of being the Forever DM, I would have a player in your game run a session and just get in the shoes of what it's like to be a player again. Where with the Forever DM players, you of course are going to know going into somebody else's game what you really do and don't want to see when it comes to a game. But at the same time, there was a period where I forgot what it was like to be a player in somebody else's game, and it was my fault why a session got thrown off one time. And those are some of the experiences that stick with you where, you know, you need to adapt yourself back into a role. So I would be in the DMs with you a lot, making sure that we're on the same page with a lot of things. And I would also be carefully gauging your behavior with this game, because some people that I play with that are Dungeon Masters tend to get like really pissy and shitty with me when I'm running games if things aren't going their way. See, playstyle, probably go with a rogue, probably sarcastic foul mouth, where, you know, archetypal rogue, alright. Cool, fun, cool moments, roleplay, decent answer. Okay, movie goer, comic book fan, always nervous meeting new people, anxiety. Why are you anxious about? Just get into it. Originality, rogue assassin, trickster subclass. Or for group in the streets. Okay, so you're a pretty standard fairy character where, in comparison to what we saw before, I'm honestly going to skip you, dude. Oh, sad. Yeah, Pedro, okay, 36. Pretty new to the playing thing. You could have done some beach. Just don't mention this. Don't go into this with the mentality of Baldur's Gate 3. Everything's not going to go your way. The combat's not going to work the way it works in Baldur's Gate 3. Like, the things that work in Baldur's Gate 3 don't always apply to these games. I have a half-elf barbarian, and name's Princess Friend, and that's the half-elf barbarian right there. And it's okay. It's all okay. This is just a very okay application. If nobody else applied, I would have accepted you. Okay. Eki H. Maddie, she, them. Okay, I played for one evening in an NPC group. I didn't know much of the context of the story, but the NPC was essential to the party, but it was a ton of fun. While playing some younger cousins in D&D, more optimized way, my character ran into his grandmother. My DM's role-playing allowed the whole system. Oh, okay, this is another you interaction here, where please talk about your group whenever you have interactions like this. I'm super excited to collaborate with other players who are investigating. You say you're willing to collaborate with other players, and then you have a story where you don't really collaborate with anyone besides the Dungeon Master. And I'm sorry, I'm automatically going to assume you're going to try to take control of the game if I let you into a group. Okay, let's skip. Criminy Eclipse, you automatically lose points because of that profile picture. You lose. Okay, you lose entirely with that. I'm out. You're not taking this seriously. Okay. Page 2. I wonder if somebody posted something else while I was looking through this. Infernal Crypt, where automatically, I'm going to say with a name like that and a picture like that, it's going to be a no. No self-proclaimed witch or Satanist is going to get into my game. Where I'm a jack of all trades, I'm an artist, I play a lot of delving, and I'm a big vampire nerd where... And this too, no. The Frogmeister. I feel like you came from Tumblr. This feels like it came from Tumblr or Blue Sky. I'm getting very strong vibes off of that. Okay, so Wyatt, or whatever. Okay, no, well now I'm offended. Okay, fuck you. Valentine Gurdon. He, him, or fuck you, dude. Okay. Prenjul T. She, her. Okay, Prenjul. All right, let's see here. I'm absolutely says not much. All I really know is the horror theme. Maybe the vampire shows. Okay, so with Strahd on the cover, you think a vampire shows up. Okay, I hope you're being cute. I really like the first person story. Yeah, am I in this shitty mood now after those last two? None but the last cutscene in BG had me shocked. So you've never been in a game before, and you're going into this assuming it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3. We had this issue before with players assuming that D&D was going to be like Skyrim. We have an entire video about that. I didn't make it, but XP Level 3 did. But yeah, it feels like this is the Skyrim issue again, but with Baldur's Gate 3 replacing Skyrim. I'm sorry, you would not be accepted in. It's maybe this application is getting worse. Okay, you want me to call you Smiley? Play a handful of D&D 5e games, split up between that. None, all campaigns have been a part of, except for Waterdeep, have been original stories or inspired by other pre-made content. I know the bare bones. I think the name is Barovia. And Strahd has some powerful servants. Kind of want to go into this. And so you can see. Okay, so a rough start. Okay, when the nicest player of a good campaign of mine committed a war crime, her other prime members trapped in a small tent. She then proceeded to light multiple fires when the entrance proceeded a small spirit to reach a tunnel. So it's someone else's experience where, okay, decent answer. Like enjoy classic stories, playing create my own video games, listen to podcasts, videos, anime, Warhammer, D&Ds. So I finished college, so my schedule's quite flexible. Are you employed? I think it would be important to say, do you have a job after this? Because as of when I'm recording this, this is currently Memorial Day 2025. And so a lot of schools are out. I think most schools are out. The college should be out. Finals has already happened with a bunch of schools where I live. So, are you going to be a guy that disappears when, like, are you going in for another degree? Are you going in looking for a job? I have a strong feeling that you would disappear after a few sessions. Where, I'm sorry, dog, I wouldn't accept you. Okay, Dion, look at what is this profile picture? I can get down with that. All right. Okay. But a bit of 5e here and there, nothing too sensitive. Right now, of course, Strahd was actually the first and only 4 campaign I ever started. We didn't get to finish it as expected, but I left a strong impression. I'll have the chance to revisit. There was a moment where my character tried to cause a little panic and actually said entire. Okay. I bring chaos. I bring the chaos where, okay, your character is going to like start shit, I take it, and with your character being a tiefling charlatan. No, okay, never mind. Okay, Seth in. Let me just zoom in on this. Okay, so let me scroll down and see. So it's not. I got a feeling that you're a furry, that you're a really hard furry, and that if I brought you into the group, if you're that attached to this character, given that your profile picture is this, you're playing as this character, that you're a little bit too attached to this idea of whatever this character is supposed to be, and you're going to probably come across as really narcissistic. By no means will I allow this in. No. Okay. 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 Dog, there's gotta be an age with the fur fandom that you gotta hang up the coat. You gotta move on with your life. You gotta put this on a shelf. You can't be in your mid-30s and doing this. You can't do this. Dog. Okay, see you later, man. Don't have that as your profile picture if you're 34. Okay. It's it. You're not taking it seriously, are you? It's dog. The second page is so much worse. What the fuck is this profile picture? Pick a concept. Katie, please, no. What the fuck is this, Katie? I'm not even reading the rest of this. What is this? Okay. Ryan, okay. I run mostly GURPS in D&D. They, okay. Played one session. It's not explaining any of this. Okay, cool. I didn't ask if you knew Latin. Okay, APOC. Okay, Victor or Vic, usually. 44. I've DM'd it, but I've never got to be a player. Okay, I love the TTRPGs. You wrote me an entire novel experience. Posted video, fit actor and optimizer. I know people hate mid-maxers, yeah, and I hit mid-maxers too. I won't accept this. No. Alright, Shreya, okay, 21. Close done, played a one-shot, got no experience, got very next to no experience with this. Curse of Strahd should not be your first game, dog. Okay, we got, is this an actual screenshot from an anime, or is this AI generated? I honestly can't tell. I want to say this is AI, but I can no longer tell by this point. Okay, she, her. I'm a little suspect about some of this information, Erica. I'm a little. And the profile picture's why. Just skim me over this. Where. Once again, another me story and a cohesive story. And Curse of Strahd, yeah, get real. Okay, Fox is okay. Playing 5e for the past few years, till an epidemic. Standard break. Been 2 campaigns. Tales from the United Pro game. I had to drop out of. That I had to drop out in a homebrew campaign that lasted a few years. Okay, well, not necessarily my business, but why did you drop out of the campaign? No experience. I had the book and was briefing the group where we're going to play up a DM, ghosted us and disbanded, where, that should probably be a sign that she didn't do that. Okay, so I actually have a video for this. For those who don't feel like watching my character, Sahara, okay, let's just go ahead and let's just look at this. Okay, fuck you. I feel like just anytime I see you, I gotta say that. Just fuck you. Okay, The Lore Master TTV. Okay, you got 96 hours. Okay, for Twitch, that's pretty good. We're not watching that, whatever that is. Okay, your Linktree, your Twitter, your thing. You've averaged 8 views a video. Oh, god dang it, man. You're playing the wrong edition. Man. Schedule your videos, and then... There's Dragons and Vampire the Masquerade. Okay, well... Yeah, I don't know about you, Foxy. I don't know. Twitch, Vampire 5e, this character. Something's telling me you're a furry. I don't know what it is, but something's telling me that. Okay, Jeff B. 38. I'm starting to get exhausted looking at this, in all honesty. I'm starting to get exhausted looking through these. Okay, but I can be overbearing and will need to rein in occasionally. Don't say this. Don't say that. Samir, do you have a decent application? Okay, no experience with this module, but you want to be a part of this. You've been doing this for 3 years, doing the 2014 rules. Okay, that. What am I looking at, man? What are you talking about? Okay, Zero the Grim. I see this guy post a whole bunch of things in here. Where, yeah, this guy's a dungeon master. I see this guy all over the site. Why are you applying for this game? Recent obsession is Has Hin Hotel. I would never be in a game run by you, dude, after seeing that. Okay. Um, Agar. Okay, can I stop the video now? No, we still got a little bit of video to go. Okay, alright. Okay, Agar. I DM'd a couple of games before, and I'm the player as well. I was clearing and sent to Avernus. I banished 2 very powerful demons. Okay, that's another you thing. I like both RP and combat. Okay, what about exploration then? Okay, I like gaming and anime. I have a Shiba dog and a fish tank to go out with other stuff. Okay, left this, a human warlock, and then... Okay, so it's okay. It's just okay. Okay, Alex, you probably want to be my first pick, but you're not my last. Okay, Skell. Alright. Played a few games in the 5e, and I've run a bit as well as in DM. Number of heard good things about it. Seems right up my alley. I love being able to make characters. And as when Dale I was playing, it was always emphasized it was a precious resource. They got sidetracked during one moment came out tropes down. And we took okay. Alright, that's not that bad of a story, actually, now that I wrote that. I like drawing poorly. We have this thing in mind. So I would pick one of these ideas that I had fleshed out, dude, in all honesty. Those last couple applications just really took it out of me, man. We're just when the cringe hurts you on the inside. It just okay. Half elf barbarian bowmaster. Where okay, it's your yeah, it's an you applied. Okay. Friends are last 3 years older applications. That dice rolling system. I was always okay for the fates. Stumble upon witches. There were the interactions. I just remember him telling me how incredibly funny encounter was. All right, and there's other stuff in here that bothers me, and I don't think we're going. Okay, so this guy just didn't even. Cool. Yeah, I think. I think the wind's out of my sails. I think the wind has been taken out of my sails where I don't care about the rest of this and just okay. My head is in my hands by this point. Just it's incredible, just amazing. Everything you said was wrong. Everything about this was the wrong answer. Okay, so all right. I'm not going to take a guy that's referring to himself as lib seriously. Dude. I think the writing's on the okay. Well, what a real batch of winners, guys. Whoever's written this game, you have 3 really obvious correct answers and all that, but wow, I like a good cringe, but duh, this is every application, just series of applications on Roll20 where the palm hasn't left the face yet, and all this. Just, I want to know at what point did D&D go from being a group of geeks that were into fantasy that liked stuff like Lord of the Rings and Narnia and Skyrim and the like to what we saw. I demand an explanation. I want to know what the fuck attracted this. Because I see this everywhere, and I've been in too many games where something like somebody with an obvious cringe application gets accepted into the game, and then the game derails or falls apart because of them, where I just saw so much shit in there that I would not ever fuck with. And it's got nothing to do with sexual identity. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got to do with what the fuck you're calling yourself and the attention you're bringing to yourself. Oh, my God. Okay, this was going to be the point of the video where I would make like a better point or a better rant about this, but this is the reason why I'm trying to get out of D&D and into other games. But there's just not an audience for other games out there. Just let me get out of this. Let me go back to this listing. So, I want to play a Cyberpunk game. The 2020 or Red. How many Cyberpunk games are there? And then I look, and it's a very limited selection on days of the week that I can't negotiate with, or it's in a language that I don't speak. I mean, I can understand some Spanish, but I can't speak it fluently. So, it's D&D is just fucking everywhere, and it's all anyone wants to play, and it's fucking filled with shit like that. With that D&D game too, if I go back to D&D and I just get rid of this shit, I just pull this up and I look at this. Just look how many of these banners are Curse of Strahd. Just how many of these are Curse of Strahd? There you are. Hassin Hotel. There he is. And I go through this. There's Strahd right there. Icewind Dale right there. Tyranny of Dragons right there. Fucking Icewind Dale again. And Icewind Dale fucking sucks. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. Johnny's mad. Johnny's too mad to talk. Okay. Okay, we're done. Video over. We're done. I'm not doing this.